Broadcasting live from the Bud Light Studio.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here. Woo!
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
Why did that happen in Fayetteville, Arkansas?
Dixon Street. It'll get you.
Streaming live from
Hit that line.
.com.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
This is Halftime.
Man, that ball got out of here in a hurry.
With Phil Elson and Ty Richardson.
Phil, you're one of the best baseball announcers in the country, and Ty, you're one of the best up-and-coming young talents in the broadcasting industry. You really do your homework.
See ya, D-Mac. Hold on, Matt Ryan. D-Mac not looking back. Touchdown.
How about that Heisman, Mark Jones?
How do you like
wide
it?
open again. All right, hold on. It's almost halftime.
Well, a new day has broken, and it is absolutely ridiculously freezing cold as I sit here in the bachelor pad on close to campus at the University of Arkansas, and our parking lot is frozen over. It is miserable up here to the point where there were maybe 200 people at last night's women's basketball game. They might have had the same lack of attendance at the Eric Musselman live radio show, which we carried right here on ESPN Arkansas. Not supposed to get any warmer than 33 degrees up here today, so it is an uncomfortable day to be outside, and even indoors too. You know, it's one of those days where your feet just seem to freeze right through your shoes. But at least I'm healthy and not sick, like my co-host Ty Richardson there in the studios, and these are his own words, he's dressed like Where is Waldo today? And Waldo apparently continues to be sick, though. Ty, you do sound a little bit better every day since you sounded like a frog that was stuck in your throat on Saturday.
I attribute that to a couple things, Phil. Number 1, God. Number 2, cough drops. Number 3, vitamin C. Number 4, orange juice. Number 5, honey. 6, chicken noodle soup. 7, Mucinex. And just some good old TV and binge watching on Netflix.
That is some laundry list you have going there. That is a great laundry list. And if you're going to give props to God for helping you get healthy, what about the whole getting ill part of it? And he might be part of that too.
I probably deserved it, to be honest.
I know it's been a while since you were sick.
I think this is the first time I've been sick since we started doing this show, Phil.
I think so.
What an opportune time.
I don't remember if I've been sick or not. I don't get sick very much. And now that I've said that, I don't have any real wood around me here, Ty, so you can go ahead and knock on it for me. That's right.
Y'all can hear that. I'm knocking on wood for Phil.
I have a good constitution, as they say occasionally.
Yeah.
So,
you always got wood around you, Phil, but go ahead.
What do you want to talk about today? What's going on in Arkansas sports? I hear there was a press conference yesterday that we carried live right about now. In fact, 24 hours ago, we were all listening to Hunter Yurachek at the podium at Reynolds Razorback Stadium, listening with bated breath to every single word that the Razorback athletic director said as he now embarks on a signature search in his tenure at Arkansas, a signature search in his athletic directing career, and a signature search for Arkansas athletics, not just Arkansas football, but Arkansas athletics. This is the search that, as Hunter Yurachek said, he has to get this right because Arkansas football, even if you had retained Chad Morris for a third year, that wouldn't have stopped the fact that you're in a vicious cycle of losing, of a locker room that is in complete disrepair, of a lot of us versus them, and a fan base that feels completely beaten down now to where you're in a 9-year period where the best you've done is a Texas Bowl win, 1 8-win season, and a whole lot of not just losses, but I mean the kind of losses that stick in your craw for a long, long time. So how do you dig out of it? It's about finding the right coach. It does. I mean, I was about to say it's as simple as that, but it isn't as simple as that. This is as complex of a search as you'll find, especially when the opening is created 3 weeks before the end of the football season, and a lot of the potential candidates that you're looking at have other jobs right now that they're going to focus on until the end of the regular season. And I think at that point, come what may, but you can sort of tie, I think, take this job, this job search, this coaching search, into two different parts. One is the regular season part. This is the research part for Hunter Yurachek, in which you're figuring out who you think is available, reaching out to some agents right now, seeing who would listen. And then once the season is over and you've had your conversations, then you start making your offers. This isn't the sort of search that you can sit around and wait for a month, because that early signing period, it's almost exactly in 1 month, I think, when the kids can sign their early NLIs.
December, yeah.
Whoever it is has to have an opportunity to come in and keep some of the recruits that you are that you signed. Of course, all these Texas recruits keep dropping off the radar or decommitting from Arkansas, and you got to find a way also to maybe keep some of the kids who are here that even give you an iota of optimism heading into the future to stay. Guys like Trey Knox, Traylon Burks, KJ Jefferson, and the like. Guys like Bo Limmer, offensive players that came here to play for Chad Morris but are not going to be playing for him. So it's worth getting into some of the sound that we heard from Hunter Yurachek and Barry Lunney, and then we can react to it throughout the show. Did a lot of reacting yesterday, and we want you as well to do it today. The Cherokee Casino Hotline will be open for you for the next 2 hours, 877-377-6963. So let's get to some of the sound from Hunter Yurachek. It was a straightforward press conference, just a statement when he came out, and then took a whole lot of questions. And going into the season, Ty, what was the expectation for Arkansas football? Was to, at the very least, win 4 games, maybe surprise an SEC team, but at least look competitive, like things were getting better. And it was quite obvious they were not getting better.
I thought our football program had taken some steps backwards in the past few weeks. I had one goal for our football program, one main goal for our football program as we headed into this season. It was a simple goal. I wanted us to be competitive game in and game out. Not to win the Southeastern Conference, to be competitive game in and game out. And I think that was clear over the past couple of weeks that we were no longer competitive.
Phil, you know as well as I do that an athletic director is never going to require a certain amount of wins for a coach to keep his job. But what Hunter Yurachek just laid out is exactly what most fans believe, that they should have been competitive this year. And by competitive, I think you can add the addition of winning every single one of your non-conference games plus one conference win. That is not so far-fetched in year 2. That is not out of the realm of possibility. That is not a fanatic talking. That should be the realistic expectation, regardless of any conference, regardless of where you play divisions. That should be the gold standard for where you should be in year 2, and that's not asking too much for Chad Morris, and he ultimately failed in that category, Phil.
And so moving forward, just the idea of this hire is so. I mean, every hire of a head coach is going to be important on campus. Any hire for a football program is going to be important. But when you're replacing a coach who's been there for 18 games, and there have now been, the next coach will be the 6th of the last 14 years, you've got to find somebody that can provide stability, somebody that can at least stick around for a good 4 to 5 years and get football moving in the right direction, not consistently backsliding, which really that's what's been happening over the last 8 years, 9 years at the very least. So here's Hunter Yurachek about the idea of getting this thing right.
Quite honestly, I know I've got to get this search right. We cannot afford, as a Department of Athletics, to go through this 2 to 3 years from now. This gives the timing of this change gives me a little bit longer runway to really do my due diligence on this search and make sure that we get the right candidate in here, and then we allow that right candidate the time they need to build a program. Obviously, it's going to take steps. That first step is we've just got to be competitive. We've got to put a competitive product out on that field that we all feel proud to support Saturday after Saturday. And then from that competitiveness will become wins, and those wins will start to multiply year after year. But the first thing is we've just got to put a competitive product out there on the field.
Phil, I thought Nick Mason asked me a good question yesterday. Let's say the football coach that Hunter Yurachek decides on fails, but Musselman succeeds greatly. Like, I'm talking Sweet 16, Elite Eights, potentially a Final Four. Is he given another chance in spite of the fact that he failed in his first football coach hire? Initially, I said no, but the more and more I thought about it, because how much basketball has a pull in this state, I think I know a lot of fans don't want to hear that you can potentially miss on this one, but if Musselman goes through the roof, I think there's a chance that he can miss on this hire and still get another chance. But I guess you have to define miss too, Phil.
Well, and then the other idea that, I mean, all your legacies are created from who you hire in football. And, you know, basketball can do its thing and maybe rise to the prominence that they had in previous years, but it, to me, would still be like at least a 60-40 split between potentially a bad hire in football and what looks like a great hire in basketball. That's something to get into. I also want to ask the question, I mean, what did Hunter Yurachek do in previous stops at Houston and Coastal Carolina when it came to hiring a football coach? He hired one guy that looked like everybody was talking about, and another guy that just came out of the blue. We'll get to that in a moment, plus your phone calls, 877-377-6963. Halftime returns right after this short break.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Ty Richardson. This is the Morning Rush.
The lines are getting ridiculous in the bathroom, and people who don't want to spend money on water, they go in and refill their cups inside of the sink, and it's tap water.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to help out the people out there in the
I'm not refilling my water bottle in the bathroom sink at the stadium. I'm sorry. No.
Don't miss the Morning Rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9. Only on ESPN 95.3.
The best TV experience in the nation is available locally with personal service from WOW World of Wireless, your neighborhood professional Dish authorized retailer. Dish has the Hopper 3, the most advanced DVR, and delivers a premium viewing experience. Tired of running out of DVR space? With the Hopper 3, you can record up to 2,000 hours of your favorite programming and watch your very own favorite channels and DVR recording anywhere you go on your phone or tablet. Call now, WOW World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474 for more details. Or stop by our location at the corner of Phoenix and Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, or visit us online at shopwownow.com. Get the Hopper 3 today by calling WOW World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474. Or online at shopwownow.com.
Monthly equipment fees and other restrictions apply. Recording hours vary. 2,000 hours based on SD programming. Remote viewing requires internet connection and compatible mobile device.
Full-time farmers, hobby farmers, and landowners, your time is important. Make the most out of that time with a brand new Branson tractor from Bush Machine and Tractor in Fort Smith. With tractors from 19 to 105 horsepower, we have a tractor that will fit your needs. Ask Bush Machine and Tractor about their special financing options and free loader rebates. Bush Machine and Tractor in Fort Smith is Arkansas's #1 Branson dealer. Check their inventory at bushtractor.com.
We did it again. Evans Body Shop has been voted the best independent collision repair shop in the River Valley for the 2nd year in a row. None of it would have been possible without our top-notch crew and our customers, friends, and family that take their time to vote for us. We would like to say thank you. We are humbled by the continued loyalty and support from our community and staff, and will continue to go above and beyond every day. Evans Body Shop, 412 Gordon Avenue, Van Buren. Come by today and see why we say
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging, the Xerox authorized agency and dealer in the River Valley. The 29 new models of Xerox business printers and copiers represent a quantum leap forward in office technology. They are designed for the way we work today, safely and securely. They're powered by Xerox Connect Key technology. They're innovative and affordable with both black and white and color devices available. For more information, give Dixie Digital a call at 783-6600 or visit us at dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing Xerox document innovations to the River Valley.
Elite Roofing is a locally owned roofing contractor. If you're building a new home or maybe need a new roof on your existing home, Elite Roofing can take care of you. Elite Roofing is known for their dependability and reliability. Just ask any of their satisfied customers. They are licensed and insured, and references are available upon request. If you need a roof, call your local roofing contractors. Elite Roofing, 478-8668. That's 478-8668. Elite Roofing, 478-8668.
It's getting colder outside. Did you know you could save up to 60% on your heating bill by converting to safe, reliable natural gas from AOG? The savings can actually pay for your conversion cost. So why pay more to heat your home and water? The convenience and abundant supply of American-produced natural gas makes it the right choice. Call AOG or visit AOGC.com and switch to natural gas today. AOG, energy for life.
ESPN 95.3. Halftime is brought to you by Supercuts, who supports local teams. Supercuts. We're super into the movement.
Yeah, they got it going on.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Ty Richardson.
Hogs need a bucket here. Joe drives the baseline to the basket, throws it down with a left hand. Wow! Isaiah Joe with the offhand. We hadn't seen that. No.
We'll have the sounds of Chuck Barrett calling Isaiah Joe Trays later on tonight when Arkansas battles North Texas. Airtime 6:30 with the IMG Learfield pregame show. Chuck and Coach Z have the call, 7 o'clock. I will be there. I'm excited to watch Eric Musselman's team in action. Did watch him practice yesterday while I was setting up for women's basketball, and I got some thoughts on at least one thing that I saw, my main takeaway from that later on in the show. Halftime is brought to you by Breeden RV in Van Buren. It's freezing outside, but it's a great time to think about camping because the year-end clearance sale continues at Breeden RV and Power Sports. They got great deals on new RVs. Travel trailers at $99.95 and fifth wheels starting under $30,000. Plus, Breeden RV gives all new customers maintenance for life for free. They're the only dealer that does that. That's Breeden RV and Power Sports in Van Buren. BreedenRVs.com for more information. We're going to be taking your phone calls, reading your texts all throughout the show on the Cherokee Casino hotline, 877-377-6963 to get into that. Now, the first up on our hotline today is John in Mount Ida. Hey, John, thanks for calling. What's up?
I just telling Ty, I listen to you boys a lot, and I really enjoy your show. And especially during baseball season, Phil, I've listened to you a lot, and I think you do a really good job.
I appreciate that.
And but I was just telling Ty, I don't care what kind of coach we get. I just want to be competitive like most people. I'm a retired veteran, and just get tired of getting their pants yanked down, then yank them back up and get us wedges. I'm kind of so I'm ready for a change, and maybe the program will go right for a while.
And it hasn't just been a wedgie of late, John. It's been an atomic wedgie. You know what an atomic wedgie is, Ty?
Is that when you pull your someone's underpants over their head? Is that correct?
Pretty much, you rip their underwear while you're wedgieing for them. It's a form of violence. I wouldn't advocate that.
They pull them up over her head and ears, I think.
Yeah, that's what's happened. That's what's happened over the last couple of seasons. It's been an atomic wedgie. But yeah, I mean this. Do you feel like the bar is set lower than it was for Chad Morris, John? Because what you're looking for is being competitive.
I think it was really. I really do. I liked. When Belima first started, I thought he was going to be good, and then Petrino, or whatever, he got in trouble, and so, he was really a good coach, I think, and I even liked Houston Nutt. Just get back where we can win a few games, I know we're not going to win no national,
Yeah, the thing about Bielema, John, and we appreciate that phone call, was that he was a line guy, a line of scrimmage guy in a line of scrimmage league, and should have been able to build up that offensive line and defensive line to where you had the personnel, and at times you did. Now, who was his offensive line coach when he first started? And this gets to one of the texts.
Sam Pittman.
Yeah, we have a text in here. I don't remember who it was. It was Carl from Lavaca says, what do you think about Sam Pittman? And we'll get into this, I think, in just about 10 minutes or so, because Nikki Chavanel from Rivals, who joins us every Tuesday at 12:30, has also been asked that question on the Rivals message board, and they've had a fairly lengthy conversation about the pros and cons of Sam Pittman. And there's also, and I don't know the former player for Arkansas that put this lengthy diatribe out there about Sam Pittman, but
I think he kept it anonymous.
Well, he said he was from Oklahoma. He didn't say the position he played, didn't give his name, but it sounded like he was trying to speak for many players that he played with, that Sam Pittman is the sort of recruiter that can that can get you out of a hole, talent-wise, in a bit, a guy who specializes in a position that you've been extremely weak since he was the offensive line coach. I mean, you haven't really had a good offensive line since then. But he's never been a head coach. And that to me would be the main and only knock against Sam Pittman, because he's got ties to the Razorbacks. He was very well respected here. It's obvious that things fell off after he left here, and everywhere he's gone, he's brought in really good players and developed really good offensive linemen. That seems to me to be what you're looking for right now, is somebody that can maybe go the opposite route from what you saw from Chad Morris. It was interesting, Ty, how somebody described to me that Morris was trying to rebuild Arkansas in the same way that Dabo Swinney did Clemson. The idea of rebuilding your skill positions first and then going to the line of scrimmage, kind of an outside-in rebuild. Arkansas right now needs, you got a sense that with being pushed around as much as they were pushed around on the offensive line these last 2, 3, 4 years, and the defensive line as well, this is a rebuild that needs to be from the middle out.
It's one thing to be able to do that in the ACC, but the SEC is a line of scrimmage league. You cannot have insufficient guys on both sides of the football up front, or you're going to get pulverized every single week. Now, Clemson, they were able to do that, whether it's Martavius Bryant, Sammy Watkins, DeAndre Hopkins. They obviously had Taj Boyd at quarterback. He brought in Deshaun Watson as a freshman. They had some studs at the skill positions, and they were able to get away with some being able to build the wide receivers and the skill players first. You can't do that in the SEC, Phil. Arkansas has been insufficient at the line of scrimmage, especially on the offensive line, since Sam Pittman has no longer been the offensive line coach. Kurt Anderson was a disaster. He was not qualified for the job, and they have torpedoed the offensive line, and it hasn't been able to recover since then, Phil.
877-377-6963. Good for a call or text. Our Cherokee Casino hotline will take your calls and texts up till 2 o'clock. So, you know, the other thing that a head coach is going to have to do coming in here, and people are talking about uniting the fan base. It isn't about uniting the fan base. It's about, first off, uniting the locker room in a way where there's no schism between the previous coaches, players, and the current coaches, players. Because I think that's what you saw in these last couple of years. You've seen reports coming out of the locker room that Chad Morris essentially told Brett Bielema's players that if they had played well, that they wouldn't be in the position that they're in. That if they didn't need a total rebuild, then we, meaning Chad and his coaches, wouldn't have been there. So, I mean, right then and there, you're already creating a schism between the players you're inheriting. And I think it was plain obvious, not just this season, but last season too. His messages to the older players were falling on completely deaf ears, to where they tuned him out, totally tuned him out. I think it happened at the end of last season, and it was obvious for the last 4 or 5 weeks that they tuned him out completely this season. And I think some of the players he brought in as well also tuned him out. So you got to have somebody who can communicate, get along with the players you're inheriting, and unite that locker room. Because that's the only way that the sum is bigger than the parts, is when a team plays as one. And, boy, it was just so obvious they didn't believe in each other. I don't think they believed in themselves, and they certainly didn't believe in the coaching staff.
And that's why I'm curious to see how this team reacts going to Baton Rouge next week with Barry Lunney Jr. as the interim head coach, and then finishing up the season in Little Rock against Mizzou. Does Barry Lunney Jr. get this team revitalized? Does he get them to respond? Can they at least have a competitive game down in Baton Rouge? Could they have a chance to play Missouri and beat Missouri? By the way, Kelly Bryant, I believe, he did not play in this last game.
Right.
And is dealing with a hamstring injury. There is potential, Phil, for another Arkansas-based quarterback, Taylor Powell, Fayetteville High School, who Brett Bielema let go to Missouri, didn't offer the kid. There's potential that another Arkansas quarterback, we know Ty's story, what he just did, Charleston kid, now at Western Kentucky, what he did this past weekend, they could lose to another Arkansas kid. I just don't hope that people, you know what's been irritating? We'll get to Mike Irwin's tweet, because I thought Mike nailed it earlier last night. The fact that so many people are behind this idea. Now Barry Lunney is an Arkansas guy. He's in charge. Now the program's going to succeed. And I thought he handled himself pretty adequately in the press conference yesterday. in a pressure-packed situation. But this idea that people keep throwing out there, Phil, that you have to have an Arkansas guy in charge is simply ludicrous. Can we stop with this idea and this mindset?
You just have to have somebody that buys into being here, at the very least, buys into being here. And, this gets to a text that we just got from, who is this from? Just talking about, so what if, Frank from Hackett asks, so what if our interim Arkansas-born and UA quarterback alumni coach has a close game with LSU and beats Missouri? He's not going to be the head coach. Barry Lunney Jr. is not going to be the head coach at the University of Arkansas. You don't go, hey, how'd it work the last time you had a special teams coach take over as the head coach? That's not a step that usually is taken from special teams to head coach. And, oh, by the way, it's not to pick at Coach Lunney, but special teams hasn't been very special in the last couple of years. In fact, it's been god-awful when it comes down to it, with the exception of Connor Limpert's kicking. The punting has been terrible. The punt coverage has been terrible. The trick plays that have been tried have been laughable. Mm-hmm. So this is bringing Barry Lunney Jr. in as the interim coach. That is the idea of trying to bring fans together at least for 3 weeks,
appease them a little bit to a certain
right.
extent. And it's not like it's not like we're saying he doesn't deserve the interim job. It's just like they feel like they need an Arkansas guy. That'll get it done. That'll be the way. But it's just not the case, Phil.
It's not an Ed Ogeron taking over as interim to move into a head coaching position. Hey, get what's going on hitthatline.com right now. Branson Convention and Visitors Bureau plus hitthatline.com and ESPN Arkansas are giving away a Branson getaway for the holidays. You get 3 nights at Hilton Hotel, tickets to a Christmas show, North Pole Adventure at Shepherd of the Hills, a Christmas music Ferris wheel ride at the Track Family Fun Park, and Branson restaurant gift cards. You can enter once daily on hitthatline.com. Got to be 21 or older. Last day to register December 10th. Halftime continues with Nikki Chavanel coming up next. Stay tuned.
Don't spend life sitting on your hands. You're listening to Halftime.
We've invented a new messaging system using the crisp sounds of Bud Light. Crisp Code. Lesson 42. This is how you say happy hour. It's happy hour. Let's go get some Bud Lights. That's it for today.
Brewed with no corn syrup. Bud Light. Crisp. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Come taste the difference at Reed's Hometown Barbecue in Booneville. Brisket, pork, chicken, and baby back ribs are hand-selected, liberally seasoned with a homemade rub and slow smoked over hickory, oak, and pecan, giving our meat a unique and original smoke flavor. Here's what people are saying. Best barbecue in the state. Awesome atmosphere. Hands down the best barbecue around. Great service. I traveled from Fayetteville and will again. It's that good. Reed's Hometown Barbecue in Booneville. Open Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, 11 till 9.
At Chambers Bank, our Arkansas roots grow deep, and you can trust us as your partner for every banking need. From a simple checking account to your first home loan, whatever you need, big or small, we are here for you. With 18 convenient branches throughout the state and a full suite of online banking options, we will always be available when you need us. Family owned in Arkansas since 1930, Chambers is your full-service community bank. Bank with trust at Chambers Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 631520.
Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair is your one-stop shop for all repairs. Paintless Dent Repair, door dings, unsightly dents, and hail damage repair, all repaired to like new conditions. With over 1 million repaired vehicles with satisfied customers, Michael Littleton is the expert in paintless repair. Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair, conveniently located 3 miles from the Arcoma exit off Highway 112. Or call 479-461-9764. Your number one Arkansas fan.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Hi, this is Melissa with True Grit Running Company. Is someone special to you missing out on life because of foot pain?
Let's face it, if your feet hurt, you don't want to go anywhere. Give the gift of freedom. Check out our store for all kinds of options to benefit your special someone. We have perfect gifts for those suffering from a variety of foot issues, such as plantar fasciitis, bunions, tendinitis, diabetes care, neuropathy, or just tired and achy feet. Visit us today at True Grit Running Company, 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Ty Richardson.
Keeps it himself, taking off and taking on Murphy, and runs all the way up past the 45-yard line.
Listen to this crowd come alive.
Let's go to the Cherokee Casino hotline where our friend Nikki Chavanel stands by. Nikki covering Arkansas athletics at Rivals. So, Nikki, I was joking with Ty yesterday, and I think the three of us kind of started our jobs here all around the same time. Crazy that we've outlasted one football coach already.
Yeah, that was, expected over the past few weeks, but definitely not what I expected when I came up here. Kind of exciting, though. Change is good.
Well, they say it's good for sports radio. I guess it's good for message boards, too, right, at Rivals?
Absolutely, yeah. It's been fun the past few days.
So, like you said, you knew this was coming. It just was a matter of time if it was going to happen at the end of the month or if it would happen after a loss to Western Kentucky. And it turns out, being embarrassed by the Hilltoppers and last year's quarterback was enough to do it. So what does this program need in a head coach in order to stanch the bleeding, stop the embarrassments, and turn things around to where you at least look competitive sometime in the next 2 years?
Yeah, well, I think the most important thing, and this is the most important thing everywhere, all over the country, you have to be able to recruit. I really did like Chad Morris's recruiting footprint. I just think that in certain areas they could have been better recruiting, especially at linebacker. You have to know your personnel on your team very well, and I think maybe they, overestimated the talent level that they had, or they just couldn't get the guys to buy in and play to their full potential, and I think that was a pretty big problem. And obviously, that's you can't fix that if the players just don't like the head coach and don't really believe in him and what he's trying to sell, and including the coordinators. You're not going to get them to play their best. So they need someone who can motivate guys, who has a record of winning. I'm not necessarily saying it has to be a current head coach. There are quite a few really good up-and-coming offensive coordinators or defensive coordinators that have been around and been even head coaches at different places, but you have to get someone I think the fans can buy into and believe in, and that means that they've won at a high level before. But recruiting and winning, and I think that after Chad Morris and just the way that he comes off, it wasn't so much at the beginning, but over time last season and this season, people want someone who can just kind of speak more honestly and I don't know, be more real with them about where the program is at and how practices go and stuff like that.
So the idea of being real, okay? How the coach that comes in is inheriting the biggest mess in Power 5 football, and fans probably understand that right now. So with the idea that you knew you had to be patient for Chad Morris to turn things around, and it was obvious he was not the right guy to do it. This state has to be able to be patient over the next couple of years to 3 years, and the coach that's coming in here has to know that it's going to be a very difficult 2 to 3 years, and he might not make it through.
I think the fan base, I said this, on Twitter and stuff, but the bar was very low for Chad Morris. He just had Arkansas as kind of the laughing stock of the SEC almost every other week. So that is what fans couldn't stand. I think they could have stayed on board with him if they had shown more progress and hadn't lost to certain schools that they lost to. But just at some point, I think Hunter Yurachek was right on the mark about this, as were all of us when we just started seeing this happening. After the A&M game, the team was just deflated, and that is up to your head coach, the assistants, the strength and whatever coordinator, all those guys, they have to get the team pumped up to play every single Saturday, and they just weren't doing that.
We're speaking with Nikki Chevanel on the Cherokee Casino Hotline. Nikki, we got a text in here asking the question, what are some of your thoughts on the recruits that are still committed this time? Have you heard anyone else considering decommitting this time? This is from William in Jonesboro.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, no. Looking at the guys still on the board, you have the in-state commits, Catrell Wallace, Blaine Toll, and Jashad Stewart. As of now, I feel like those three guys with Barry and Lunney as the interim head coach, I feel like they're going to stick around and see what happens. They've wanted to be Hogs all along, so the fact that they're still committed is a very strong sign that they didn't just make that snap decision and decommit right away. I think the staff has done a good enough job of reaching out to these guys and letting them know your spot will be here, kind of no matter what, we want you here. And I feel like that might be true given the timeline, because Arkansas is probably going after a coach that is having his team go to a bowl season, basically. Not that he'll probably be able to coach in a bowl game. The fact that, you know, it's a good coach who's leading his team to a bowl season, they'll want to stick it out and see what happens then. And that only changes if you're trying to enroll early. But to my knowledge, Blaine Toll is the only one trying to enroll early, so he would be the only one I think that would maybe – actually, he'd probably stay committed and just come to Arkansas since that's what he wanted to do all along. Chandler Morris is the other one that obviously a lot of people have questions about, and he has not, to my knowledge or anyone that I've talked to, silently decommitted. I could understand why he wouldn't want to put it on social media if he was going to decommit, but he's still committed to the class, and he's likely just kind of seeing what happens because Chad Morris, I mean, he recruits guys all the time. He knows how the process works. What if he does still want to come to Arkansas? That'll be up to the next head coach, but he could still be an option.
So, Nikki, let me ask you about that scenario. Let's say this ends up playing out, they get a new coach, and Chandler decides that he's going to stick to his commitment and come to Arkansas. Would that not be weird? Like, that scenario, that idea just sounds so odd to me. Would you think that, what percentage would you give Chandler Morris still coming to Arkansas, even though his dad has been fired as the head coach?
I would put it up pretty low, but he said all during his recruitment process, like, the pressure of being, you know, Chad Morris's son wasn't going to get to him, and maybe, I mean, I wouldn't want that, you know, over my back all the time, but if he has fallen in love with this school and everything, then I don't see why you wouldn't let him stay committed. I don't know if maybe you go and get someone else, maybe another grad transfer, but I could understand why he might still like Arkansas, although if it was me, I don't think I would want to come here anymore.
So, Nikki, there's still some basketball recruiting going on, and Arkansas got great news on Saturday from Moses Moody. Doesn't the early signing period start tomorrow?
Yep, it starts tomorrow and runs through the 20th, so next Wednesday. And Arkansas has, you know, obviously the 5 in-state guys. They aren't all looking to sign early, but Devontae Davis, he will sign next Tuesday at noon. Moses Moody, even though he committed this weekend, he still hasn't decided whether he'll sign during this early period or kind of see what happens. I would feel more comfortable if he would sign early and just go ahead and get it over with, but you never know with these guys. And then Chris Moore, he is due to decide and sign on the same day, either on Friday or Saturday, so that's big time. I posted on Hogbeat the other day that it seems Arkansas has maybe surpassed Memphis a little bit with all the James Wiseman stuff that Penny Hardaway is dealing with. Keon Ambrose Hilton, a recruit who is a Canadian, he is kind of in between Alabama and NC State from what I've heard, but Arkansas is still in the mix, and they went to see him at the last possible opportunity on Saturday, and he'll decide on the 17th.
Nikki, in about a minute or less, you know, you mentioned the situation in Memphis with Penny Hardaway and Wiseman, and now Hardaway viewed as a booster by the NCAA, and now they're going to take him to court, got an injunction so Wiseman can play. As somebody that covers recruiting, is this the kind of thing that can really hurt Memphis, even if Wiseman is still cleared to play? Can this still hurt them?
I think it definitely can. Because of the uncertainty, you don't want any kind of uncertainty, especially if you have another great option where you know that you're very much wanted, like at Arkansas with Eric Musselman.
Okay, well, we'll leave it there. It ought to be a pretty interesting Tuesday when we talk to you next week when we focus on basketball with just a little bit of football coaching.
Can't wait. Thanks,
All right.
guys.
Thanks, Nikki. As always, it's a pleasure talking with Nikki Chavanel, who covers Arkansas athletics at Rivals.
Weekend, Phil. If they can swing Chris Moore, get the third of the Fab Five, and he's, like Nikki just said, would be signing on Friday or Saturday, that'd be massive. Massive. Because I think that Jalen Williams is still teetering, and I think him and Chris Moore want to play with each other. Williams is down between Auburn and Arkansas. Moore's down between Memphis, Arkansas, and Auburn. It's going to be a very interesting weekend for Arkansas basketball, and I think that there could be a lot of smiling faces after this weekend.
I have a feeling that interview with Nikki will be on today's Halftime Podcast, which is sponsored by Jeff's Clubhouse. Ty puts it together as soon as the show is done. It'll be out close to about 2:30. You can download it anywhere you get your podcast. I get mine on Apple. You can find it on TuneIn, Stitcher, Spotify, anything like that. And, of course, at hitthatline.com as well. And the Halftime Podcast is sponsored by Ty's favorite place to eat, Jeff's Clubhouse. And we'll be back right after the break taking your calls, 877-377-6963. It's halftime on a Tuesday.
You're listening to Halftime.
Your fence is more than a decoration. It's a reflection of its owner. Choosing a fence company should be done with integrity and quality in mind. The Fence Man has been providing fencing and security solutions for over 40 years. An in-house custom iron and gate department, plus an access control department. The Fence Man offers services other companies aren't equipped to do. The Fence Man, fencing and security solutions to protect what matters most. 479-782-3936 or online at thefencemancompany.com, a division of Quantum Property Services.
If you have experience transporting frozen and refrigerated goods and want to be part of a trucking family with insurance and be home every week, you need to contact Brent Higgins Trucking. Since 1997, Brent Higgins Trucking in Mulberry has been proudly delivering to and from various areas of the United States, including but not limited to Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Brent Higgins Trucking, where you're a name, not a number. Contact them at 479-997-2366 or at BrentHigginsTrucking.com.
Fall is here, and at Frank Bro Furniture in November, now is the time to buy. Come in and take advantage of our many made-in-the-USA products. Lift chairs, we have them. Sectionals, reclining sofas, and loves, we have them. Bedroom furniture and mattresses, we have them. We also carry a variety of appliances and TVs. In November, come in and receive 10% off on any purchase. Ask us about our financing programs. We have several options that will meet your needs. Only at Frank Bro Furniture. Best seats in the house.
Do you hear that Coors Light being poured? It's the perfect temperature. How can I tell just based on the sound? I can't. But I can see that the mountain on the can is blue. And when the mountain is blue, your Coors Light is perfectly cold. Coors Light is cold lagered for a crisper taste, cold filtered for brightness and clarity, and cold packaged for peak refreshment. Doesn't that sound good? 2019 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Hey dads, do you have an athlete in your house that is looking to take their skills to the next level? XL Speed Training at the Fort Smith Athletic Club has the proven results to maximize your athlete's potential. Designed for both male and female athletes of all ages and various sports to improve mobility, endurance, agility, and vertical jump. Take your game to the next level with XL Speed Training. Call Mike Johnson at 479-926-0193. That's Mike at 479-926-0193 at the Fort Smith Athletic Club.
Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative is excited to introduce Wave Rural Connect, bringing state-of-the-art fiber internet, TV, and phone services right into the homes of all their members. Get amazing fast fiber internet 100 megabits for only $49.95 per month, or 1 gigabit for $79.95 per month. Go to waveruralconnect.com to find out where they're installing in your area, or call 1-833-4WAVE-RC. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Joe's Grill and Cantina is the only place to watch the Hogs. Watch every game at Joe's. Enjoy half-price apps and taps during the game. And with TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat. Half-price appetizers like brisket nachos, Mexican pizza, 10-layer dip, or Joe's humongous sampler platter. All half price. And all beers on tap are half price. Watch every Hog game at Joe's. Half-price apps and taps during every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street across from Harps.
It's football season and the right play is at Hertz Car Sales, 2810 Midland Boulevard. Their business is quality used cars at a great price with their #1 goal of passing the savings on to you. The latest makes and models, low mileage vehicles with an overall experience that can't be matched. Make the short drive to 2810 Midland Boulevard today and find that there's no better way to buy your next vehicle. Call them today at 783-1722 or check them out online at buyfromhertz.com. Hertz Car Sales. What are you waiting for?
ESPN 95.3. Halftime is brought to you by Supercuts, who supports local teams. Supercuts. We're super into the movement.
Yeah, they got it going on.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Ty Richardson.
Now it's Jefferson. Touchdown. Simply put, you can't better debut than that one.
Time rolling along on a Tuesday here on ESPN Arkansas. Phil Elson with Ty Richardson and you. 877-377-6963
And
to
Rage
get on the
Against
show.
the Machine, dude. Don't forget
That's not Rage Against the
Did I screw
Machine.
that
That's
up?
the Beastie Boys.
Oh, my
Goodness
bad.
gracious. Have you not learned anything from halftime homework?
Apparently not.
I taught you Beastie Boys
Generational
like a year ago.
gap.
Rage Against the Machine is this Thursday's halftime homework, and obviously you have not even looked at the Cliff's Notes, Ty Richardson.
Obviously not. I thought that Sabotage was one of their songs.
I'm ending the show right here. Come on now. That is not
Sorry.
Rage Against the Machine, and in fact, Rage was even a little bit harder than that, if you can believe it. That is your Thursday halftime homework, right? You're doing Rage Against the Machine. Either that or this is Spinal Tap, the movie.
Yeah, probably Rage Against the Machine.
What am I doing? I don't even remember what you assigned to me.
You have to watch some Jack Manley videos. Millennials, for whatever reason, really like to do these like vlogs, and this guy likes to go down to Austin, Texas, and just ask girls questions on 6th Street. It's very entertaining.
Gosh, something tells me that I'm going to stop watching this about 5 minutes.
Well,
in.
it's all the videos are only like 4 or 5 minutes, so just watch
Good.
one or two.
Just watch one or two of them.
Pick out what you think would be the most, and he has the topics listed on the title, and pick out what you think would be the most entertaining video to lose 4 minutes of your life into, and then we'll talk about it on Thursday for halftime homework.
877-377-6963, the Cherokee Casino hotline. Let's go to Eddie in Clarksville. Eddie, what sort of qualities do you want in the next head coach of football at Arkansas?
Well, sir, I want him to bring, number one, I want him to bring discipline back to that playing field. I want him to bring winning and tradition back to the U of A. That's what Eddie from Clarksville wants. Because we can win at the U of A. But I want to, more importantly, gentlemen, I'm calling in today to ring a bell on these basketball in-state recruits.
This is a basketball call.
Jump aboard. Because we're fixing to get rolling with Mr. Coach Musselman. And we're going to get rolling with or without you. But it would mean so much more to your home state. School rich in tradition. Under Eddie Sutton, I got to watch what we call the triplets. Under Sidney, we are rich in tradition. And we're fixing to get back to winning on a high level on the basketball program. And we just look at what Nolan Richardson done. Hey, 4 Final Fours. Hey, a national championship and a national championship runner-up in about an 8-year span. Was there a better basketball program in the country than the U of A? And we're fixing to get back. And listen here, Chris Williams. Listen here, Jalen Williams. Hey, Chris Moore, jump aboard. Because, listen here, you can win under Coach Musselman. Hey, he'll get you to the NBA if that's what you want to go through. But you can win. Hey, just look at the banners. At the 17,000 people woke up against Rice in a game just a couple of weeks ago. Let me tell you, is there a better fan base in the country than the U of A fan base?
Basketball-wise, Phil, that's hard to argue sometimes when Bud Walton's got 19,000 plus in there. Eddie, thanks for the call, man.
And, the energy for basketball is at a level that I haven't seen since maybe Mike Anderson's first year, more because of, who the head coach was, and you're reaching back to Nolan's lineage and all of that. But it felt a little more like a smokescreen then. And right now, I'll tell you, when you watch Eric Musselman in practice, and this isn't to disparage any other coach, this guy is really a coach. He's watching every single move. He's communicating to every player. They are tuned into him. And he has Mike Anderson's players listening to him and playing the style that he wants them to play. I think they've bought into him from the very start. And that's something that you didn't get from football with Chad Morris.
Russ from Jonesboro texted on the Cherokee Casino hotline, Phil, asking if Chaney's back tonight. Was Chaney practicing when you got a chance to watch?
He was practicing, but I think they're going to make an announcement or put out a release when Chaney is not suspended any longer. Because it was an indefinite suspension. They said that he'll practice with the team, continue to practice. We don't know when he'll be back, but there will be a release. I haven't seen that release yet.
I'm definitely probably in the minority on this, Phil. And maybe it was because I didn't get to actually experience it, because when they won the national championship in '94, I was not born yet. I was born that December. But if Arkansas basketball can ever get to the point even remotely close to where it was under Nolan, and I don't know if that's going to happen. I think we're a long way off from that. But I think I would be happier with the winning. And again, I'm going to be in the minority on this because there's a lot more Arkansas football fans in the state than are Arkansas basketball. But I'd much rather have a successful basketball program. Maybe that's because I enjoy watching and talking and discussing basketball more. But there's just something about this fan base getting excited for Arkansas basketball again that has me tingling a little bit. Are you in that category, or am I?
Are you sure you're not tingling because of the virus you've got? Are you sure that's not what it is?
All these drugs I'm hopped up on. Good grief.
Well, look, it's also I think it's much easier to buy in as a fan to a basketball rebuild, which can happen like that. Basketball can happen so much quicker. Going in, and you knew going into the Chad Morris era that it was you had to be patient. It was going to take time, as any football rebuild does take time. And, you can point to, certain situations where things look like they get turned around over the course of a year, but I think that's far and few between. The fact of the matter is, it's going to take an enormous amount of patience from fans, from media, and from everyone around the administration for the next coach to have the time to rebuild everything. Because, look, Chad Morris rebuilt some as far as recruiting is concerned, but now you're going to be knocked back again. This will be essentially your second empty class of the last 3 years. Yeah. And you're already starting behind the eight ball, just based upon the fact that Arkansas is not a rich recruiting base for football. There just aren't enough players in this state to fill the program back up the way that maybe you can fill up Georgia quicker or LSU quicker or Tennessee quicker. This is a tough place to rebuild. So, yes, I just think it feels more realistic that you can have a more successful basketball program in the next 2 years than you can football in the next 4 or 5 years.
And I brought the stat up a couple weeks ago, I believe. You have more or tied, I'm forgetting the number, as many four-star basketball recruits in the state as you do football.
Well, yeah.
And that should not be the case. Now, we've had many different recruiting analysts on the show, whether it's Otis, Dudley, Nicky, Richard, whoever, and they'll tell you the exact same thing. There is far more young high school basketball talent per capita in this state compared to football. And when you look at this potential recruiting class that Eric Musselman could reap and bring in, 5 top 100 kids. 5 top 100 four-star kids. That's like unheard of. Like, if you compare that to football, if you compare that per players and stuff, that's like unheard of for Arkansas high school football. So maybe it would be different if high school football in Northwest Arkansas and Central Arkansas was tons better, but it's not. But the basketball-wise, you're pretty solid. There's a reason that it looks like Musselman is not just recruiting transfers anymore, that he's recruiting in-state kids, because he has talent that he can actually drive to. and watch and not have to fly to. So it'll be interesting to see the dynamic of not only Eric Musselman moving forward, but whoever they bring in as the next Arkansas head football coach, Phil.
So maybe this is one of the answers to the question that we've posed ever since this show started. If other sports can perform well at Arkansas and win and compete for SEC championships and compete on a national level and be recognized as some of the best programs in the country, baseball, track and field, soccer right now, women's basketball is ranked, softball has played great the last couple of years. And men's basketball, yes, the jury's out, but it certainly looks like it's going in the right direction. If all of these programs can perform well, why can't football also compete at the same level? And potentially the answer is the fact that you have so many more football players than on any other team, and this state doesn't produce enough talent to keep you at that level, and it becomes difficult to bring kids into the state to do that. And I remember saying this a couple of months ago. I know that everybody's favorite sport in Arkansas is football. That probably won't change. But as far as the talent that you're spitting out from this state, this is a basketball state, and it's becoming a baseball state. It's not a football state as far as talent is concerned.
And I'm okay with that. I know you're liking how the baseball level competition is rising. I know Dave Van Horn has spoken to that a couple times. I'm okay with it being basketball. This is my wheelhouse, but I know a lot of fans listening sure do wish the football talent would increase inside the state, Phil.
Well, it's 1 hour in the books. 877-377-6963 is our Cherokee Casino hotline. We'll be taking your calls and reading your texts that are FCC good up until 2 o'clock. So stay with us here on Halftime. And, of course, we're talking football all throughout the hour. A little preview on Arkansas basketball against North Texas. And the main takeaway that I had from watching Eric Musselman's team practice yesterday at the Bud. Stay tuned for hour number 2, Halftime. It's right after this.
Great camping weather is just around the corner, so at Breeden RV in Van Buren, we're having our year-end clearance sale right now. Get great deals on new RVs like travel trailers that start at $99.95 and fifth wheels starting under $30,000. Breeden RV is the only dealer that gives our new customers maintenance for life for free. We also have a great selection of pre-camp trailers and RVs to choose from. Now is the time to camp, and now is the time to let Breeden RV in Van Buren show you just how easy it can be. Breeden RV, your home for maintenance for life.
Oh, that's an RV.
You always get more at Orr.
We always put the customer first at Orr Chevrolet in Fort Smith. Since 1924, the Orr family of dealerships has grown based on one simple principle. Give the customer more money for their trades and give them a lower price on their new vehicle. It's a simple concept, really, but one that very few dealers honor anymore. Hey, we know you paid a lot of money for your vehicle, and Orr Chevrolet wants to pay you the maximum amount for it today. Then we'll give you an awesome price on a new Chevrolet. But we're not done giving you more. Included with any new vehicle sold, Orr Chevy will also give you a lifetime powertrain warranty, 2 years of free maintenance, and free car washes for life. So come get a lower price and more money for your trade today at Orr Chevrolet on Auto Park Drive in Fort Smith and 24/7 at OrChevyFS.com. Chevy, find new roads.
You always get more at Orr.
Hi, I'm Jack with Arvest. My goal today? Outmaneuver this chess pro.
Checkmate.
Oh, okay. All right. Maybe I should have let an expert help me accomplish my goal. And for your financial goals, Arvest is the expert. We can help you develop strategies and plan all the right moves to prepare for tomorrow. So get started today. When it comes to your finances, trust the experts. Trust Arvest. Watch me attempt more goals at arvest.com/experts.
Hi, this is Lindsay White with White Office Machines. For over 90 years, my family's been serving the greater Fort Smith region with the image industry's newest technologies, as well as providing superior customer service through long-term business relationships. As the area's only authorized Kyocera document solutions dealer, White Office Machines provides the best value with high-speed copiers and the latest multifunction printers. Stop by our office in downtown Fort Smith or in Russellville. Follow us on Facebook or go to whiteoffice.com.
White Office Machines since 1929.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Mainly cloudy sky, a chance of some scattered rain and possibly a little snow across the north tonight. An overnight low will drop down mid-teens north, low 20 south. Sunshine with us on Tuesday with highs in the 30s, and then we should be back in the mid to upper 40s on Wednesday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Proceed. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is halftime, coming at you from the Bush and Bushlight Studios on ESPN 95.3.
It's what I always listen to.
Good morning, Vietnam! Broadcasting live from the Bud Light Studio.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here. Woo!
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
Why did that happen in Fayetteville, Arkansas?
Dixon Street. It'll get you.
Streaming live from
Hit that line.
.com.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
This is halftime.
Man, that ball got out of here in a hurry.
With Phil Elson and Ty Richardson.
Phil, you're one of the best baseball announcers in the country, and Ty, you're one of the best up-and-coming young talents in the broadcasting industry. You really do your homework.
See ya, D-Mac. Hold on, man, Ryan. D-Mac not looking back. Touchdown.
How about that Heisman, Mark Jones?
How do you like
it? Wide open again. All right, hold on. It's almost halftime.
You want to know how much I've changed since I started doing talk radio now? And well, before I started doing talk radio...
You shower now?
I showered and I shaved today, actually. Clipped my toenails. Yeah, smooth faced. I'm trying to get a whole new look now, which was my old look from about 3 years ago. No, it's that I'm putting odds and over-under lines on everything now, not just basketball, football, baseball games, but our very ill friend Ty Richardson in the ESPN Arkansas studios. It's what is this, day number 4 of your illness?
I think that's right.
Of your physical illness. I think there's another one that might take a while to work on. That we now have an over-under on number of tissues that'll be used in the next hour. So this is this one of the smaller boxes of tissues? Is this a travel pouch?
I think there's 80 of these suckers in there.
You got 80 in there. So if you can make it through 80 tissues in the next 59 minutes, that is a sure sign that you are not getting any better, Ty.
I haven't had Campbell's chicken noodle soup since I was in like middle school, and I bought like 3 of those yesterday. And to your Vegas point, Phil, it helps that you have a co-host who used to be a degenerative gambler. That helps egg you on wanting to bet on things more, even though you don't bet on things, but at least to fixate different Vegas lines on different aspects of your life. I think I've helped expedite that a little bit.
So you're going with the old cliche of chicken noodle soup, which, hey, I'm not telling you shouldn't do that, but when I get sick, I want some spicy stuff. I got a Mexican restaurant that I like to go to, and I'm not feeling well. They have a green salsa that will make the top. I think getting healthy has to do with, making the top of your head sweat. I want spicy salsa. I want spicy hot and sour Chinese soup. Those are the things that start getting me good, because chicken noodle soup is never spicy, ever. Grandma's matzo ball soup, which is delicious, is never spicy. It should never be. It's not the stuff that ever got me healthy.
Well, I love Cajun food. I love Louisiana food. When I'm going to Dallas this weekend, one of my friend's mom is from Louisiana. She's making gumbo, so I better be ready for the waft that's going to hit my nose when I walk into that house. But I think that Betty's, our traffic manager, suggested it to me yesterday. Tommy's been telling me to sip on whiskey combined with honey to wake my nose up, but I just
why don't you do that right there in the studios while you're working today?
I feel like that might be frowned upon by the.
Did Tommy wipe whiskey on his kids' gums when they were babies just to get them to go to sleep? It's the same sort of thing.
I don't know. I'll get John to ask him that tomorrow on the Morning Rush. See what his response to that would be. But I don't really touch alcohol during the week, and I'm not a big whiskey guy either. So I've had some interesting experiences with, and maybe it's just because I used to drink really bad whiskey like Rich and Rare in college, and I just kind of got that in my head. That's what all whiskey tastes like. And
Rich and Rare. That's the stuff that's at the bottom of the shelves. Yeah, you actually have to be looking for it.
Plastic bottle, disgusting. That led me to have a little conversation with the University of Arkansas Police Department my freshman year of college. So I tend to stay away from that. But
and potentially the porcelain god.
Yeah, that too. But maybe I should try the whiskey thing. So I've done the honey. I mentioned the honey. I mentioned stuff in my face with these cough drops and trying to stay warm and just do different. I've stayed in bed. Like I typically go work out in the morning, but not this week.
I haven't seen your I'm Ty Richardson going to work out tweet
it's
this
just,
week.
It's the motivation for the people, and but that is I had a friend's dad who is a dentist in Little Rock, and what he always told me is like if I can pass dental school, anyone can, and I kind of use that in my version of working out. If I can work out 4 days a week, 4 or 5 times a week, especially at 6:30 in the morning, anyone can. Because if you look at me, I don't really have any muscle tone whatsoever. I'm not fat, but I just don't really have any muscle tone, Phil.
Well, Ty, you have a big weekend coming up.
Big
weekend. You got to be feeling good for Baylor, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
You got to be feeling good to be at is it Grandma or Meemaw? What do you call her?
Grandma or Meemaw? What?
What house are you going to this weekend?
So aunt and uncles who live in Dallas. Who uncle went to Baylor along with my dad, so it's a pretty solid weekend.
Yeah, you got a big weekend, so you got to get
My
healthy.
weekend worked out. Yeah, I gotta freshen up for those cutie Baylor girls who are looking to get their MRS down there in Waco, Texas.
Half-timers, what does Ty have to do to get healthy? Plus, what do you think about the coaching search? All these things throughout the next hour. 877-377-6963. What do you think about calling our listeners half-timers? I think I just came up with
coined that. I'm down with it.
Does this work?
I think it works.
We're all half-timers for the next 54 minutes. And the first half-timer up on our Cherokee Casino hotline in hour number 2 is one of our usual half-timers. It's Robert in Fort Smith. Robert, what's up?
Hey, guys. On this search, I've listened to a lot of names just like y'all have. I don't think Mike Leach is out of the question in some ways because right now he does not like that new rule that we've talked about, where y'all talked about with the players going on commercials and getting paid, because he knows he's up against it against California to recruit. I'm not saying that'll be the reason why he would, but it's not far-fetched for him to go to another school right now, not just Arkansas.
Well, I think that's right.
So,
I think there's truth to that. I think that he might be seeing potentially the end of the road in Pullman, and I think he's been itching to get into the SEC. Didn't he take the Tennessee job and then they took it away during that incredible soap opera from a few years back? It was a long time ago that he was the offensive coordinator at Kentucky coaching Tim Couch, but I think he's been trying to get into the SEC, and maybe this is an opportunity for him to do it. But that's one of the names that everybody's talking about. I think that there will be names that nobody's talking about, or maybe one or two people are talking about, because Hunter Yurachek, I think in previous coaching searches, he's come up with names that nobody was thinking of.
Josh Heupel's one that I'm wondering about. I don't know that he'd be any good or not, but I'm just saying I don't think it'd be out of the hat to talk to it. But, it's just another one out there. But y'all have a good day, guys.
Robert,
appreciate it, Robert.
That's not a bad idea. Josh Heupel, Heisman Trophy winner at Oklahoma, down there at UCF, they're not having the year that many thought he would because he's had to deal with a couple different things, whether it's Mackenzie Milton's injury last year, having to deal with, I think, Dylan Gabriel, who also went to Mackenzie Milton's high school, is a true freshman quarterback. So he's having to deal with that. But
this hasn't been a good year. It's not like Heupel's got this really long track record because, they just lost to Tulsa.
Yeah.
So Tulsa hasn't been all that good, and this is the – look, I listened to Malzahn's press conference before we got on the air today, and the last question was about the Arkansas coaching position. So, it's going to come to him every week. And maybe he's a candidate, maybe he's not. But you know what? The next 3 weeks are the weeks that are going to decide whether or not it's realistic that he even looks at Arkansas, because a loss to Georgia and a loss to Alabama, that hot seat coming right back up again under Gus Malzahn. And it's like, how long can you take being on the hot seat every single year? And then there's the idea of, and I know, some fans feel like, he spurned the university once before. Why would you go at him again? This is somebody that can recruit, knows the state, has a plan, can adjust every once in a while. He's not very good at developing quarterbacks, but he has been a proven winner in the same division and in the same state that Nick Saban has been coaching. It's got to stand for something.
I would love to see KJ Jefferson in his offense being able to develop in that. And I know there's people that don't like Gus Malzahn, but I think if you're looking at the landscape of college football, potential head coaches you could hire, I think he's a good fit. I have nothing against Gus Malzahn. I cited him over Houston Nutt when that whole debacle went down with him, Mitch Mustaine, and the Springdale Five. Not really the Springdale Five because two other guys went elsewhere. But there's some people, Phil, still in the state, particularly in high school ranks, that don't like Gus Malzahn because of what he did at Springdale and Shiloh running up with a score on people, which I think that. And then there's some people within the boosters and other people that just don't like Gus Malzahn. But, Phil, to be honest, if we're being frank, if we're being upfront, he might be the best coach you can get. And people might be offended by that. It's like, oh, we could bring in Urban Meyer. We could bring in some of the best. No, like Gus Malzahn would be a really good fit at Arkansas. Unorthodox, a little obscure, has his own way of doing things. I would have no problem with them bringing Gus Malzahn, but it ultimately comes down to if he wants to come back to Fayetteville, Phil.
Well, he'll get asked that question ad nauseum until somebody is hired. Halftime brought to you by Breeden RV and Power Sports in Van Buren, and the year-end clearance sale continues right now. Great deals on all sorts of new RVs. Travel trailers at $99.95, fifth wheels under $30,000, and, of course, at Breeden RV and Power Sports, all new customers get maintenance for life for free. Plus, Breeden RV has a great selection of pre-camp trailers and RVs to choose from. That's Breeden RV and Power Sports in Van Buren. BreedenRVs.com for more info. Cherokee Casino Hotline open for you, 877-377-6963. Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to Halftime. This is the Morning Rush.
The lines are getting ridiculous in the bathroom. And, you know, people who don't want to spend money on water, they go in and refill their cups inside of the sink. And it's tap water.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to help out the people out there.
I'm not refilling my water bottle in the bathroom sink at the stadium. I'm sorry. No.
Don't miss the Morning Rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9. Only on ESPN 95.3.
Great camping weather is just around the corner, so at Breeden RV in Van Buren, we're having our year-end clearance sale right now. Get great deals on new RVs like travel trailers that start at $99.95 and fifth wheels starting under $30,000. Breeden RV is the only dealer that gives our new customers maintenance for life for free. We also have a great selection of pre-camp trailers and RVs to choose from. Now is the time to camp, and now is the time to let Breeden RV in Van Buren show you just how easy it can be. Breeden RV, your home for maintenance for life.
Oh, that's an RV.
When was the last time you looked forward to seeing the dentist? Well, if it's been a while or you haven't had the best of experience with dentistry, meet Marcy Van Ash McKinney in Family Dentistry. They take care of it all: crowns, bonding, dentures, bleaching, and cosmetic dentistry. They even offer oral consciousness sedation available for your comfort. That's Marcy Van Ash McKinney Family Dentistry at 807 South 21st. Call for an appointment today, 494-7600. That's 494-7600.
You always get more at Orr.
We always put the customer first at Orr Chevrolet in Fort Smith. Since 1924, the Orr family of dealerships has grown based on one simple principle: give the customer more money for their trades and give them a lower price on their new vehicle. It's a simple concept, really, but one that very few dealers honor anymore. Hey, we know you paid a lot of money for your vehicle, and Orr Chevrolet wants to pay you the maximum amount for it today. Then we'll give you an awesome price on a new Chevrolet. But we're not done giving you more. Included with any new vehicle sold, Orr Chevy will also give you a lifetime powertrain warranty, 2 years of free maintenance, and free car washes for life. So come get a lower price and more money for your trade today at Orr Chevrolet on Auto Park Drive in Fort Smith, and 24/7 at OrChevyFS.com. Chevy, find new roads.
You always get more at Orr.
Now is the best time of year to get more for your money on a new Mahindra. Enjoy 0% interest or save thousands of dollars on a rugged Mahindra tractor. That's more for less on many of Mahindra's best-selling models, with tractors that deliver more lift capacity, fuel efficiency, and built-in weight. So pay 0% interest or save thousands on the world's #1 selling farm tractor. Only at Alma Tractor and Equipment in Alma.
Right now at Randall Ford, get 0% for 72 months on a new 2019 Ford F-150, plus $1,000 special retail bonus cash. But that's not all. How about up to $13,000 off MSRP? Or how about only $299 a month? That's it. Just $299 a month for a brand new 2019 Ford EcoSport. Only from Randall Ford, America's 4th oldest Ford dealer. Stop in today. Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers, or online at randallford.com. Home of the lowest price guarantee.
With over 40 years combined experience, the team at the law offices of Craig L. Cook understand the definition of work, real work, working for you. Whether you've been injured in an auto accident, on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help navigating bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook, with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
ESPN 95.3. Touchdown! Halftime is brought to you by Supercuts, who supports local teams. Supercuts. We're super into the movement.
Yeah, they got it going on.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Ty Richardson.
Ball's on the ground. Hobbs are going to scoop and score. They pick it up at the 5. Scooter Harris. Touchdown, Arkansas.
Halftime, Phil Elson, Ty Richardson. Ty, how many tissues in the first segment? You got to count?
I had one before the segment, so I'm holding up nice and strong here, Phil. We'll see if he continues through the show.
Well, our listeners are coming in with all kinds of remedies for you. Let's see here. Hacker and Harrison, he's talking more about having to pay Auburn for Malzahn, as he calls them, golden handcuffs. I like that. There's a golden parachute for CEOs or coaches that get fired with big buyouts. Then the golden handcuffs, that's the buyout that the school gets to keep them in place. Let's see. We do have, I thought I saw some here, spicy food. Yes, that would be one of them. Doug in Little Rock. No, Doug in Little Rock didn't have one for you there. I saw a lot of different remedies for you here. Whiskey with honey.
What's a
and
Rocephin
lemon
shot?
I have no idea, but if it's a shot, then chances are it's some sort of thing that's going to get you feeling better pretty quickly.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of shots though either, Phil. But I guess if they work, they work. So
yeah, Mike in Fort Smith says get a penicillin shot, and you'll be healed by Friday. Red says get yourself a hottie toddy. So if you want to go the Ole Miss route, hottie toddy might do it for you.
Now Tommy was talking about that to me yesterday. Is that honey and whiskey? Is that what that is, or what?
Oh, I don't. I've actually never had one, so I'm not even sure. I just hear him say it every time I go to Ole Miss.
Maybe me and Tommy can make one on the show tomorrow. And
that's right. If you're going to just wipe whiskey on your gums, you might as well go the full 10 yards, right?
I'm sure.
877-377-6963. We're taking your remedies for Ty's virus or whatever it is he's got. And thoughts on the Arkansas football coaching search, which is what Jared in Los Angeles has called in for. Hey, Jared, you're on the Cherokee Casino hotline. What's up?
What's going on, boys? How we doing today? We doing all right?
Doing good. Just talking coaching search again. How about you?
Oh, man, I'm all in, brother. This is the best time of the year to be. I mean, every 2 or 3 years, it's fun to be an Arkansas fan because I feel like you get to listen to stuff like this, listen to the rumors. So I'm well, man.
That's good. I mean, it's good for talk radio and ratings and I think advertising rates. Maybe not so good for football programs, but hey, those two things have never gone together in the same vein.
Not really, brother. You guys are absolutely right, man. I gotta talk to you guys. I gotta get my opinion out there. To me, without question, it's got to be Lane Kiffin, man. This guy has connections. He could assemble a hell of a staff. He's young. He's hungry. And tell you what, I'd even be willing to wager that this cat is going to win a national championship at some point. Not saying it's going to be at Arkansas. He's going to win one somewhere down the road. I would love to see him in Fayetteville, man. He's polarizing. To me, he's a Musselman-type guy. He knows how to engage on social media. He creates a national brand for Arkansas, not so much as a regional brand. Man, I just think, and I think the news media, I think it would be great. I think, once again, polarizing, man. I think he's polarizing. I think he's a hell of a coach.
What is it about polarizing that you think is so important? Are you talking polarizing as far as Arkansas versus everybody else, or is this sort of thing that because the Lane Kiffin hiring, I think, will upset quite a lot of people and make them a little worried because, I mean, things blew up spectacularly at USC. Obviously, they blew up spectacularly at Tennessee. His exit from Alabama didn't go very well. There's a lot of potential. He's still young. He's winning at FAU, but that could blow up. I mean, really blow up.
Well, you're rolling the dice. There's no doubt about it. But at this point, do you have much to lose? I know you're trying to stabilize the program, and let's not forget USC. A lot of sanctions when he was there, so he didn't have a lot to work with when he went there. Now Tennessee, he handled that piss poorly. I completely agree. His dad was with him at Tennessee. I think Monty may still be with him, but he's made some poor decisions, as we all do as we're younger. But as this guy matures, man. And going back to polarizing, I just think he creates a national brand, not just something people in Arkansas are going to talk about. People all over the country are going to talk about this guy, including, and recruits are going to know about the University of Arkansas because of Lane Kiffin. Just my 2 cents, brother.
I appreciate the phone call. Well, it definitely would generate a lot of headlines. Kiffin, to me, would be the sort of coach that, quote-unquote, wins the press conference, sells some tickets, gets the marketing department all excited, but does that necessarily lead to turning around a football program and winning games? These things are going to have to find a way to go together or just forget about winning press conferences. All right, next up on the Cherokee Casino Hotline, which is lighting up like a Christmas tree that has been set up about a month and a half too early. Next up here is Richard in Searcy County. Hi, Richard. You're on halftime.
Hello. I want to tell Ty how to get well.
Oh, good. Well, he's sick in many ways. We're just talking about the virus he has right now. What does he need to do?
He needs to make some garlic soup.
I love garlic soup. Is this a cream soup, or is this because cream isn't going to make anybody healthy?
Any way you want to make it, but just get real garlic and just like put chicken or rice or anything.
It seems to me, Ty, that Richard wants you to eat as much garlic as possible, and this will help keep the vampires away too.
Yeah, and tell him once he gets to feeling better, don't quit eating it. Just eat it all the time, especially through this winter time.
What about raw garlic,
I eat
Richard?
garlic all the time, and I don't never get sick.
Does this have to be garlic consumed in a soup, or can he just eat it raw? Just
he
bite into it like an apple.
Garlic. I mean, garlic is really good for you for some reason.
I love garlic. Garlic on spaghetti, garlic on pizza, garlic.
Okay, you're gonna get the feeling better then, and eat it all the time then, Ty.
I actually, Richard, so when I was making my chicken broccoli rice stuff that I did, I'm not doing it this week obviously because I'm doing the noodle soup. I think I actually have some leftover garlic cloves in the pantry, so I might toss that into my noodle soup this week, man. Hopefully.
That's what I'll do. That's what you do, and also in the morning, make you some tea with some honey and put some lemon in it.
Okay, and I've been
and stay off that whiskey. That whiskey ain't good. That whiskey don't cure nothing. It just makes you sick.
Okay, so you're right. We've had several Richard recommendations that people have told me to make hottie toddy, which is what you're saying, but the addition of whiskey. You're telling me to stay off the whiskey?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right, we've got some competing.
Garlic and garlic and honey is really good.
Garlic and honey. Okay. Thanks.
All right.
Okay.
We're really good, Richard.
You have a good.
Thanks for calling. And I was going to ask, what if you put garlic in your whiskey? I mean, does it kind of fight off the nasty parts of the whiskey? Garlic is that strong? It is that strong. It'll also keep the women away from you farther than they've been staying away from you for a while now, Ty.
Yeah, I don't need any more deterrents than my face and my hair, Phil. That's just going to hurt the things in that department, man.
Ben tells us La Huerta always makes him feel better. That makes sense. Made me feel pretty good last week. Brett in Spiro says Dr. Kenout is an excellent doctor. He knows a certain weatherman at 4029 that goes there. Yes, they're coming. The porter says add lemon and cinnamon to it with your hottie toddy, which is whiskey and honey. We're taking it's now a call-in show for medicinal purposes. 877-377-6963.
Do we need to stress that I'm not dying or anything? That's just like a common cold that we get in the time. People are, I think, really concerned for my well-being, Phil. That's just because they like you so much. Next up on the Cherokee Casino Hotline is David in Fort Smith. Hi, David. Thanks for calling.
What's going on, fellas? Y'all making me hungry talking about soups and drinking hottie toddies and stuff, man.
Well, we don't want to make you sick. That's the whole point.
Right. Hey, guys, I got a little theory, and it's just something that kind of popped up in my mind. You know, this whole firing Chad Morris right now, I'm not saying was the wrong move. I completely agree. But I'm wondering, like, we all thought Morris would have at least one more year. So we all thought that, well, he's going to have to make coordinator changes after this season. So we all thought that there's going to be some coordinator changes. I just wonder if Morris just couldn't pull the trigger on letting Craddock go. So Morris kind of took the fall. You know, you think that Craddock, being Morris's right-hand man, you know, just didn't have the heart or in him to let Craddock go. Because, I mean, if Craddock were to step down right now, he wouldn't get his full salary, correct?
I think you would get a percentage of it, correct? But it would be there'd be some sort of a buyout, but it wouldn't be the full salary.
Right. So he's just hanging on for the last two games and the rest of the season, so he gets his full pay at the end of the year.
Oh, that's absolutely right. But I'll tell you what, David. I mean, the idea of Chad Morris firing Joe Craddock to show that he's keeping coaches accountable or to save his own hide, that was a long time ago when that would have held any sort of sway, because it's way too late. It had been way too late for that. Even after the loss to Mississippi State, it was that wasn't going to accomplish anything. And I don't think that that's the reason he was fired. I think the reason he was fired is exactly what Hunter Yurachek said. The team wasn't competing any longer, and if you're not competing, you're not coaching.
But, Phil, I wonder, and this is a stat that you brought to everyone's attention a week or so ago, the fact that Chad Morris has yet to fire any of his assistant coaches. I wonder if that played any part of what transpired with Hunter Yurachek ultimately making the decision to let Chad Morris go. I wonder if that was mentioned. I know that Nikki asked Chad after the Auburn game, I believe, if he was going to make any coaching decisions. He said no. I'm wondering, because we heard a similar story to what Hunter Yurachek had a conversation with Mike Anderson. I can't tell you the validity of that or not, if he was going to make staff changes. I wonder if there's any truth to that with Hunter Yurachek and Chad Morris making staff decisions as well, but I don't know if we'll ever figure that out.
877-377-6963 to get your opinion with us. That's the Cherokee Casino hotline. Well, I mentioned it last hour. You can enter once daily on hitthatline.com up until December the 10th for a great giveaway of a fantastic Branson getaway for the holidays. It's brought to you by the Branson Convention and Visitors Bureau, hitthatline.com, and ESPN Arkansas affiliates. You get 3 nights at the Hilton Hotel, tickets to a Christmas show, the North Pole Adventure at the Shepherd of the Hills, a Christmas music Ferris wheel ride at the Track Family Fun Park, and Branson Restaurant gift cards. You know Branson is the place to be around Christmas time. Let ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and Branson Convention and Visitors Bureau get you there. You must be 21 or older. You can enter once daily, hitthatline.com. We're coming back with basketball talk next.
Shooters shoot. You're listening to Halftime.
This time of year is hectic, and we know you have things to do and places to be. Southern Tire Mart can help you get there and save you money on America's most trusted brands like Michelin and BF Goodrich. Take advantage of our $29.95 oil change, which includes a 27-point vehicle inspection. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart just off I-540 at exit 14 in Fort Smith today for quality Michelin and BF Goodrich tires and the best-in-class service. Get where you need to be with Michelin, BF Goodrich, and Southern Tire Mart.
Protection with possibilities. Have past losses made you cautious about taking on risk with your investments? Are you concerned that your savings are not generating the returns you need? If you are interested in protecting your money and capturing potential investment growth, contact Brad Lewis at United Financial Advisors at 242-7466 or ufadvisors.net to see whether market-linked CDs may be the right solution for you.
Securities and advisory service offered through Royal Alliance Associates, member FINRA, SIPC. United Financial Advisors is a marketing destination.
We did it again. Evans Body Shop has been voted the best independent collision repair shop in the River Valley for the second year in a row. None of it would have been possible without our top-notch crew and our customers, friends, and family that take their time to vote for us. We would like to say thank you. We are humbled by the continued loyalty and support from our community and staff and will continue to go above and beyond every day. Evans Body Shop, 412 Gordon Avenue, Van Buren. Come by today and see why we say
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
Right now, I'm holding a perfectly ice-cold Coors Light. You know how I know it's the perfect temperature? Because the mountain on the can is blue. And also, it's really cold. Every Coors Light is cold filtered, cold lagered, and cold packaged. Notice how many times I said cold? 3 times. It's that cold. So make sure the mountain on your can of Coors Light is blue, because that means it's ready to enjoy. 2019 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative is excited to introduce Wave Rural Connect. They're bringing state-of-the-art high-speed fiber internet plus TV and phone services right into the homes of all members. If you're an Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative member, go to waveruralconnect.com to sign up. That's waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-4WAVE-RC. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Did someone say, I'm hungry? Visit 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge on the Avenue. Try the new panini sandwiches like the Chicken Pyro or the Cubana or the signature 906 wings. Jumbo wings roasted with honey bacon jam. Want some spice? Try the black and blue wings. Experience their salads, flatbreads, coffees and desserts, top shelf wines and liquors, premium beers, world-class cigars, all in an atmosphere that feels less like a lounge and more like a destination. Sample, indulge, escape. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Treat your appetite on the Avenue.
ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Ty Richardson.
Hicks going to throw off play action. Back shoulder, end zone. Touchdown, Arkansas. Mike Woods, 13 yards, and Arkansas grabs the lead.
Rolling along halftime on a Tuesday. Phil Elson, Ty Richardson, 877-377-6963 is our Cherokee Casino hotline. And the remedies keep rolling in here for our ill friend, Ty. Alan from Mountain Home says, go to bed with as many blankets as you can stand. Sweat it out. That to me sounds like a pretty good idea. I think that's the way to go, Ty. And this is I think that's the reason the spicy foods work. The idea is to get your body so warm, so hot, that it kills the virus inside of you. You know? So all of these pills that you're taking, which is cooling your body down, is giving the virus a little more room to operate than it really wants. So what I think you need to do is go get some of that Reaper squeezins that Brett from Spyro keeps telling us about, and just put a couple of the drops on your tongue, let them go to work. Poof, better than a penicillin shot. You'll be ready to go this weekend for Baylor OU.
This is amazing content that we're getting, Phil. I don't know if we've had this much interaction. I mean, it helps that a coach's been fired and people are vastly tuned into Arkansas Sports Radio right now. But who would have thought that me getting sick would be very vital for the show's interaction? I never would have dreamed that. So I got a ton of new remedies, a ton of new things that I can try. I'm just curious to see which one. The thing is, Phil, I'm going to try them all, and then one of them's going to work, but I'm not going to know which one actually worked because I'm going to be trying them all at once. So I won't have a good justification of which one I should do next time.
All that matters is that it works. Just that it works. That's it. That's it. Well, we did get a text from Keith in Charleston that says, enough football talk already. Discuss the Razorback basketball game tonight, please. Yes, sir. We would love to talk about something that's a little more positive right now, and that is Arkansas men's basketball. They take on the Mean Green of North Texas tonight, 7 o'clock, 6:30 airtime for the pregame with Chuck Barrett and Mike Zimmerman right here on ESPN Arkansas. The Hogs entering with a win under their belt last week against an overmatched Rice team. North Texas coming in with 1 win and 1 loss. Their win came against Oklahoma Christian and lost Friday against 25th-ranked VCU 59-56. It's a pretty good basketball program that's coming into Bud Walton Arena tonight, as the Mean Green have won 20 games or more back-to-back seasons. And, you know, they were the only team in the country last year that had 6 players that averaged over 10 points a game. They've got 3 of them left. So they do return quite a bit of the firepower they had last year, and it should be a better test, I think, than Arkansas got from the Rice Owls.
Phil, you got a chance to watch some of the Arkansas basketball yesterday, setting up your equipment prior to the Arkansas women's game. Can you tell us about that a little bit?
Well, I mean, the first thing that I noticed is that I set my equipment up, and there is a set of gloves for every single player right in front of where I do the broadcast from. And I asked Musselman's son, I can't remember what his name is, but he's on the staff.
Crap.
Crap is not his name. I wouldn't name anybody that. But he said that we do these. We make Michael Morrison, I think is his name, and Michael Musselman. I'm sorry. So they have them wear gloves for dribbling drills and catch and shoot drills to get a better feel for the basketball. And Michael likened it to swinging a weighted bat in the on-deck circle. So it makes it a little more difficult to catch and shoot with the gloves, gives you a better feel for the ball when you don't have the gloves on. But that's not my main takeaway from this. The main takeaway was once practice was over. You know, when you watch Eric Musselman at practice, he is intense, but he's also joking with the other coaches, joking with some of the players, and communicates to them very, very well. And they are listening with bated breath for him. But my main takeaway was once practice was done, and some of the players stuck around to go through some shooting drills, virtually all of them. I saw to my right Connor Vanover working on three-pointers. I saw to my left Isaiah Joe and Jalen Harris were doing around the world together. Mm-hmm. And watching Isaiah Joe shoot up close is a thing of beauty. I mean, we all know when you watch it on television or you go to a game at Bud Walton Arena, he's got such a perfect stroke. But this was happening like 5 feet in front of me, and what a perfect stroke it is. But he's there with Jalen Harris, who was like the worst shooter on Arkansas's team last year.
What, 8 for 68, Phil? Something like that from the three-point line?
He looks like a totally different player right now. I mean, he made a couple of threes against Rice, and I know he's not being defended at this point, but one of the things that was the knock on Harris was that his shooting form was poor, very poor. Flat shot.
Kind of a hitch, too.
Yes, and a big hit. Still has a little bit of the hitch there, but it looks like a much more refined shot. It looks like he worked on it all summer long, and I got to tell you, he outshot Isaiah Joe when they went around the world.
Yeah.
Not defended, so he didn't have a hand in his face, but even in an undefended drill to outshoot Isaiah Joe, considering where Harris had been, to me it says this guy has been working his ass off for the last few months.
And, Phil, you think about a guy in Jalen Harris who has used his speed the majority of times at Arkansas to get to the basket, to create for others, and to score. Now, if he can add shooting to his arsenal where he's not going 8 for 68, I believe was the number in 2019-2020, if he can at least make other players respect him, his speed, he's going to be able to utilize it that much more to create, to drive, and to get players open. And that's going to be huge for Arkansas basketball if they can have another guy that score. And you bring up Isaiah Joe, Phil, Arkansas fans listening. If you really want to put some respect on Isaiah Joe's name, he is in the line for the best shooting guard in the country, the Jerry West Shooting Guard Award. And you can vote for that award at hoophallawards.com. You can vote once per day. He's going to be listed under shooting guard, and he is along with some of the better Quinn Grimes. There's a couple others really good shooting guards in that category. He has a chance, just like we've heard from different national basketball guys, to be one of the premier shooting guards in the country. If you're an Arkansas fan, do yourself a favor. Go vote for him a couple times or every day on hoophallawards.com.
So, and back to Harris for a moment. You know, one of the additions that Eric Musselman brought in as a transfer, Jimmy Witt, that takes some pressure off of Harris.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and that pressure was on him for almost the entire season last year as, like, you know, the one real point guard that you had. You got a real point guard in Witt. He's taking pressure off Harris. Harris now coming off the bench, and there's just not as much on his shoulders. Now, I mean, he's going to be out there for, 20 minutes a game or so, but he also looks like somebody that can score rather than just getting to the rack, hitting some threes. And I think that'll be interesting to watch today because really throughout the entire season. Bob Holt had a great piece in the Democrat Gazette today about Arkansas, how many threes they're going to shoot. And I think we went, what did we put the over-under at for last week? It
29.5.
29.5. They shot 25. And that was 25 three-point attempts on 67 total shots. So, today, Ty, I'm going to go over. I'm going to go over 28.5. I'm going to say that they get into the 30s today because this is a little bit of this. Rice didn't have any size, so Arkansas could penetrate a little bit and not rely on the three too much. North Texas has a bit more size than Rice did, and the Mean Green last year were one of the smallest teams in the country height-wise. They've grown a bit in the last few months. I think that the three-pointer will be a major portion of Arkansas's attack today. So I'm going to go over 28.5. How about you?
I'll go under. I'll just be different. I don't know if I'm really strong in that answer, but I'll go under just to be different. I'd rather see them chuck as many as possible as long as they win the basketball game. But, Phil, we were talking about Isaiah Joe getting some attention past couple weeks. Arkansas basketball got some attention. 11 votes in the AP poll this past week. So I'm wondering if they can beat North Texas, pick up a few more wins, if this team has to be chanced to be ranked in the preseason, or I say preseason, the non-conference portion of the regular season before they enter conference play.
The women's team last night had a ho-hum 101-58 win over McNeese. 101 points. Never scored fewer than 21 in any quarter, and that was the fourth quarter when Mike Neighbors played mostly reserves. Chelsea Dungy finished with 19 points on 7 of 11 shooting, and Taylor Thomas had her second double-double in as many games. Now get a load of this, Ty. Arkansas for the game shot 56.5%. They only tried 15 three-pointers, and usually they'll attempt like 25 a game, a little more than that. In the third quarter, Arkansas went 11 for 12 on 2-point shots and finished that quarter with 31 points. It was a total takedown of McNeese, and now Mike Neighbors' team, ranked 22nd in the AP poll, moves on to a Thursday game against Oral Roberts. And this team right now looks like they can score pretty darn quickly.
We hadn't brought this up yet, Phil, but I thought it was funny. Barry Lunney Jr. yesterday mentioned that Nabes was his, junior high coach? Like, what coach? What coach was? Do you remember what he said yesterday?
It makes sense. I mean, Barry's from Fort Smith, Mike's from Greenwood.
Someone remind us on that on the Cherokee Casino Hotline, because there was a connection there because Neighbors was in the back of the press conference room listening to his press conference. So I thought that was kind of cool.
I'll have to ask Mike about that. They don't practice today. They practice tomorrow, so I'll ask him about that. All right, we have some more remedies for Ty. We've got your calls, and Get Off My Lawn coming up. 877-377-6963, the Cherokee Casino Hotline. We'll come back right after this.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Ty Richardson. Follow them on Twitter at Phil Elson PXP and at Ty Sports Radio.
Hi, folks. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources. Fall is my favorite time of the year. Football, fine weather, and my chance to flip the lot. We're out to sell every single car in our Rath Road Ready inventory and flip the lot during our fall clearance. That's right, every vehicle must go. To make it happen, we're discounting our entire inventory with savings up to $4,300 below retail. Even our special purchase vehicles are included, like 2018 Hyundai Elantra SELs for only $13,991. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in our Meineke Car Care Center, with buy 3, get 1 free on all tires and 50% off brake pads. Don't miss out on the savings. Help us flip the lot. Get the Rath Road Ready vehicle that's perfect for you and save up to $4,300 during the fall clearance at Arkansas's #1 rated and reviewed independent dealer, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
Requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase price affects trade allowance.
Are your real estate investments being properly managed? Are you sending a check or cashing a check each month? If you're tired of your current property managers, then call Trinity Multifamily. Trinity will qualify your tenants and leases, inspect your properties, and take care of maintenance and provide you with web-based access to current financial reports, leases, and pictures of your property. Call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
Arkansas Valley Insurance Agency is an independent insurance agency fulfilling all your insurance needs since 1931. Insure your home, auto, farm, commercial property, and your life and health with one of the many companies represented by Arkansas Valley Insurance. Companies like Liberty Mutual, Foremost, Travelers, Columbia, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Safeco, MetLife, and many more. Visit Arkansas Valley Insurance Agency locations in Danville, Charleston, Boonville, and Mena. You can also contact us at arkansasvalleyinsurance.com.
Unlimited personal group training at the Fort Smith Athletic Club. Personal group training is a great way to create accountability for your fitness while improving mobility, endurance, and overall wellness. Reach your fitness goals faster with personal group training. Only $60 a month. Call Mike Johnson at 479-926-0193. These workouts are high intensity and get results in under an hour. Only $60 a month. Call for class schedules and details. 479-926-0193. Reserve Results happen here at the Fort Smith Athletic Club.
At Chambers Bank, our Arkansas roots grow deep, and you can trust us as your partner for every banking need. From a simple checking account to your first home loan, whatever you need, big or small, we are here for you. With 18 convenient branches throughout the state and a full suite of online banking options, we will always be available when you need us. Family owned in Arkansas since 1930, Chambers is your full-service community bank. Bank with trust at Chambers Bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS 631520.
Make a hot spring spa part of your day-to-day routine now and discover what it means to get more out of each day. Hi, Tommy Kraft for our good friends at Burton Pools and Spas in Fort Smith and in Springdale. Burton's is having an instant rebate event where you get $1,000 in instant rebate with the purchase of select hot springs models. Burton Pools and Spas is at 6121 Zero Street in Fort Smith and 725 South 48th Street in Springdale. Just imagine being able to come home from a hard day at work and to slip into your own hot spring spa from Burton Pools and Spas and let the stress of everyday life just slip away. And you're going to be totally impressed with all the features and options that are available on a hot spring spa. See it for yourself in Fort Smith or in Springdale and find out more about how you can get a $1,000 instant rebate with a purchase of a select hot spring spa today. That's Burton Pools and Spas in Fort Smith and in Springdale, or find out more online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
ESPN 95.3. Touchdown! Halftime is brought to you by Supercuts, who supports local teams. Supercuts. We're super into the movement.
Yeah, they got it going on.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Ty Richardson.
Whaley, he gets the call, fighting for the goal line. Touchdown, Arkansas! Devwa Whaley goes the final yard as the Hogs mark 64 yards in 10 plays to take the lead.
Time to put a cherry on the top of halftime. We might still have a little time to get a phone call in if you want to be part of it. Cherokee Casino hotline is open, 877-377-6963. And on a Tuesday, it's time to find something to kick off your lawn.
Get off my lawn.
Listen, old man.
Do not you what? Announce my presence with authority.
Perhaps I could be of some assistance.
The old man.
Get off my lawn. Presented by Breeden RV and Power Sports.
And the year-end clearance sale at Breeden RV continues. Great deals. New RVs, travel trailers at $99.95, fifth wheels under $30,000, and all new customers at Breeden RV and Power Sports get maintenance for life for free. That's Breeden RV in Van Buren. BreedenRVs.com for more information. Ty, I think our halftimers want to get your illness off their lawn, and we continue to get some of these remedies coming in here. Sean in Greenwood says, go to a co-op and get fish bio. It's just amoxicillin, but would you be okay taking a medicine that is labeled fish?
I've had fish oils before, but injecting that into myself is a little scary. I don't know, but our halftimers, they wouldn't try and sabotage my health, would they?
I hope not.
I hope not either.
They know I can't carry this show all by myself. Yeah, there's no way that can't work. Let's see. We had BE from Clarksville say his get off my lawn is Gus Malzahn, or as he calls him, Gus Malzahn. I think that was just a fat finger moment there for BE. He doesn't want him as the Arkansas coach. I'll tell you what, I think there's a lot of Arkansas fans that feel the same way. And who was it, our caller from Los Angeles a while back called Lane Kiffin polarizing? There is no person that could take over Arkansas football that would be more polarizing than Gus Malzahn. I mean, I put him ahead of Petrino. I put him ahead of Houston Nutt. I think Gus Malzahn would be the most polarizing choice. But it also might be a realistic choice, much more realistic than Petrino or not.
So I had you watch the identity theft of Mitch Mustaine a couple weeks back for halftime homework. Whose side did you come out on after watching that? Because there's only two sides.
I didn't come out on any side.
Mustaine, or?
To me, no, I didn't come out on a side. It was I was just more interested in hearing the background story of it, you know. And I'll just put it out here from now. From what I know about what the folks in Jonesboro feel about Gus, And from the stuff that went down behind the program or when he was the offensive coordinator here and I think what his former Springdale players might think of him in some cases, I think it would be very risky. And again, look, this coaching search is not about uniting a fan base. It's about winning games. And Gus has won games in the SEC West. He's done it for a long time now. So I just think it would be a difficult pill for a lot of people to swallow. And obviously, Robert is one of them.
So I'll go and I was going to talk, and I'll do this real quick, and then we can get back to Gus talk, Phil. Dre Greenlaw, he caught a pick in OT. Were you happening to catch Monday Night Football?
I had the women's game going last night.
I didn't either. So I woke up to this. Dre Greenlaw caught a pick in OT off Russell Wilson. This was kind of cool.
Wilson, pressure off the edge, releases it, and it is intercepted by Greenlaw. Dre Greenlaw now on the return as he's still on his feet with blockers in front. Dre Greenlaw down the sideline. Can you believe this? Russell Wilson throws the pick.
So he's had a pretty good rookie season so far, and
I think that's just the second or third interception that Wilson's thrown all season.
Yeah,
he's had some crazy numbers as far as touchdowns against interceptions.
Fantastic year for Russell Wilson. Some would say he's the best quarterback of 2019, but he picks him off, and Chase McLaughlin, who's their rookie kicker, made a 47-yarder to send them to OT to tie up the game, and then missed a 47-yarder in OT to help the Niners win it. Russ back down, they kick a field goal, and the Seahawks win. So my get off my lawn is that Dre Greenlaw's interception was wasted because Chase McLaughlin couldn't hit a 47-yarder, even though he did it a few minutes prior to send him to OT. A little frustrated about Chase not giving Dre his due last night, Phil.
Greg in Mulberry texted in saying pills without going to the doctor saves money, and it's the same medicine. He's got it in his cabinet. I'm not sure exactly what medicine he was talking about. Adam from Wynn says Joe in Avoca probably has a good remedy, and I have a feeling I know exactly what you're talking about. You can put it in your pipe and smoke it. I don't think that's good. That probably won't make you – it'll make you feel good, Ty. I don't think it's going to make you healthy from what you're dealing with right now.
I have a sore throat, and I've been coughing. I feel like smoking marijuana would only amplify that. Right?
Yeah, it would probably, make your throat a little bit drier, a little bit hotter, and a little bit scratchier.
Not that I would ever consider doing that.
Wait until you're feeling better and you get one of those cards that says it's okay to have it with you. Okay?
How old do you have to be to get one of those cards?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Just say you're like having a headache or something. You go across you can't actually. No, that's breaking federal law. I think when you bring stuff like that across the border. But
I think we're on our way to that. We're not there now, but I think we are on our way to that.
Okay.
All right. So I've got my get off my lawn, and it's my height. so here, look at this. Look at this here. I'm putting this up on our page. I guess I shouldn't show my entire driver's license.
Let's cover up the ID.
This right here says my height. It's my driver's license, which was issued in 2017, and it says 5'11". I know I'm not 5'11". I don't. Maybe I told somebody at the driver's office that I was 5'11".
You definitely. Don't be.
But I know. So at one point I was measured, I think, in high school, and I was 5'10" and a half. That half inch really meant a lot to me. I wanted to be 6 feet. I've never come close. My dad is 6 feet, or at least was. I don't know if he is now. So I'm having dinner with the lovely lady and her daughter a couple of nights ago, and I don't remember how we got onto it, but I said my height. I said I'm 5'10", and lovely lady looks at me with this almost sadness in her face that she's about to break my heart, and she says, "Babe, I'm going to be honest with you here. You are not 5'10". She says, because I'm 5'7", and I'm taller than you when I put on heels. And she wears boots a lot these days, so yeah, she does get a little taller than me. I think I'm a little taller than her if we didn't have our shoes on. But there's no doubt when she puts shoes on and I don't have shoes on, she's taller than me. So last night, I go up to Natalie, who's the athletic trainer for Arkansas women's basketball, and I know Natalie well, and we're able to joke about things. And I said, Nat, when you guys get back to practice on Wednesday, I need to get into the training office and I need you to measure me. Because you would figure a basketball team has something to measure the height of their players with.
Yeah.
Now, basketball teams are known for adding an inch or two or 3 occasionally to a player's height. But that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for truth. I'm looking for accuracy in measurement. And Natalie, who's been measuring players her entire career, takes one look at me and says, Phil, you ain't 5'10". And at that very moment, I instantly lost an inch. You know, I mean, it happened like that. I probably went from like 5'9" to 5'8", with the digestion that I must have lost a couple of inches somewhere along the way. I'm only 42. Like, this is not – I didn't think I was going to shrink until I got into my 60s. But here we are. And at one point, I'm not lying. I was 5'10". I am not 5'10" anymore. 2 women who are about my height have told me this. And I'm going to believe them. I feel smaller than I was yesterday, Ty. I don't like how it feels, but I got to be honest. My height, I'm getting off my lawn. Those 2 inches, somehow I lost them.
So I don't know if my father's listening right now, but he is 5'6", I think, and my stepmom is taller than him, which is pretty funny. He makes no bones about being short. And when I was growing up, my brother's like 6 feet, maybe 6'1", but we were told that we were going to get our grandfather's height, who was 6'2". And so all throughout, I'm listening, or my doctor growing up, I think it was Dr. Byram, over at All for Kids in Little Rock, telling me, hey, you're going to be 6 feet something, 6'1", 6 feet 2", whatever. And I capped out. I think I'm 5'11", and on my driver's license, kind of like yourself, I upped my my height a little bit. I think I listed myself at 6 foot. But it's amazing at like when people ask, and this seldom comes up in conversation, but like when someone asks, I always say 6 feet, because there's something about being able to say that you're 6 feet that gives you an extra umph, regardless of what it is. Men just like being tall. Maybe it's
that's right. No man, or I think even women too, doesn't ever want to feel like they've shrunken, like they're shorter than they really think they are.
I feel not placements, but what are the foot placeholders when you put in your feet? They give you a couple inches. You ever thought
lift in your shoe?
Yeah, you ever thought about doing that?
Well, I had one. I had lifts in my shoes when I had plantar fasciitis for a few weeks.
Okay.
A few years ago, and I guess that made me a little bit taller. B from Clarksville says he's 5'16", almost 300 pounds. This, I guess, turns into the Dan Patrick Show now. We need a boxing bell to ring for everybody that gives their height and weight.
Man, yeah. So I wish I like you, Phil, wish I was taller. I'm sorry you've shrunk. I apologize.
It's okay. I'm shorter by stature, but larger in the mind, I guess. The older I get, the wiser I get, but the shorter I get, too.
This is a heck of a show, man.
These things have to work in tandem. It has been fun today. It's been fun for a couple of days. We ought to change coaches a little more often, don't you think?
And like I said off air, I think I should get sick more often because people are flocking to our aid, trying to get me well.
Coaching searches are good for ratings. Illnesses for the host are great for ratings. We just need our entire lives to disappear right in front of our eyes. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Maybe Ty will feel sicker. Maybe that's a good thing. Get up, get out, get sicker.